Yes, Jason, we're back. Another positive podcast, mate. How you doing? Thank God for joining me. This episode is Jason. Well, Jason, we beat Hearts and Tynecastle. A lot of topics to talk about, mate, during the match. Obviously, the main thing is we got the result. Very, very positive result, mate, leading on to obviously the Shakhtar game coming up. Loads of topics, mate. Obviously, VAR into Scotland. Our first game with VAR. Lot of debate, I would say, mate, on obviously a few things that happened in the match, but overall, mate, very, very positive. On our part, we got the 3 points. Hope you're well, mate. Had a good weekend and happy days, mate. Good victory.
Hi, mate. It's good to see you. Good to be on here again. Have a good weekend. Hope you have as well. Mate, where do we start with that? That was a roller coaster of emotions yesterday, wasn't it, man? I couldn't take any more of that. I've got a few extra greys in my head after that. From a neutral point of view, mate, what a game of football. It had everything in it. But as I'm sure we're going to talk about, there was a few things that I've got right under my nose with that weekend there, and it actually took the shine off a really, really good football match, in my opinion.
I think, obviously, the main thing is, mate, we got the 3 points, and that's probably going to be overshadowed by a lot of the stuff that happened in the game and what they shall call teething issues. If you've been getting training for it and getting looked into it, obviously, as often as I've been training for it, I don't know. I understand teething issues, but some of the things that happen, mate, I just, for the life of me, can't understand how it took so long for certain things, and can't understand how certain decisions didn't go away, and it's just crazy, mate. But again, Scottish football, Jason, another weekend in Scottish football, nothing surprises you. But obviously the main thing is, mate, we got the victory. Like you say, for a neutral, it'd be an absolute fantastic match to watch. It was kind of a wee bit end to end, especially the second half. When obviously we're trying to get back into the game when we did go down. So, but for me, Jason, obviously we may as well just get started with VAR because that is the main topic. I know we want to talk about our performance and we'll go into that during the podcast, but I think we may as well get to the right, mate, because it's not just on our lips, it's in a lot of Celtic fans' lips, it's a lot of pundits' lips, so we may as well start, mate. And obviously the first one is Ralston. That's just crazy. I don't know how that get rolled up. It's crazy. To get rolled up. I just can't understand it, where he's got that fibble from. I didn't understand where he got it from. Still don't know where he got it from. And I think if I look at it even more, mate, I still don't know where he got it from. So if you can help me out, mate, where he got that disallowed goal from, I really don't know where he got it from, because if we get that game goal, mate, for me the game's done. Hearts are not coming back into that game if we get that goal. So for me, I can't even see how he can say it's a foul, because Jackie Marcus is the one getting pulled. So where they pulled that for, but it's the fact that he's blown a whistle before it's even happened. So they can't go back and even check it for VAR because he's already blown a whistle. And the rules isn't VAR, for what I understand, for watching down south and abroad. You've got to let the play go first, and then you look at it back. So why is he stopped it before? Because I think they went to go and check it because he made an arse of it, and that's the way I feel. I think he's made an arse. He made an arse of it because he's blew first, and then he's went, fuck, we better go and check that because I've made an arse of it. He's blew first, and meant to actually let the play go, and then go back and check it maybe 10 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever it is later. And it's crazy why that was not a goal.
Nah, I don't understand it either, because I actually thought he'd flagged it for offside to begin with. But then watching it again, it turns out that he blew the whistle before he's gave it. So for me, it's no a foul, mate. It's 6.5 a dozen of the other. The both of them are at it, pulling each other's sort of jersey. So I don't understand it. I can't work it out. And even I think what I read and all, even if that had happened, because he did blow the whistle, what you were saying, because he did blow the whistle, VAR wouldn't have got involved anyway. So what? I don't understand it, mate. It was a perfectly normal goal, and it would have put us. It would have put the game to bed very, very early. And I just don't. I don't get it, mate. I've watched it about 30 times, and I don't know. Can't work it out. Don't get it.
I know the referees are seeing it maybe quicker than us, and it's a split reaction, and he's going to make a decision. But I don't know how he thinks that's a foul. Like, nobody in this earth thought that was a foul. When you go and look at it back, it's see, for me, right? See, if you're a defender, and that's how much it's taken for you to get thrown down, then that's embarrassing. Like, Jackie Marcus has not pulled him down. He's no done anything with strength. That guy's actually pulling him, and he's just kind of.
Ryan, no Hearts players said it about it. They've just been like, that's us 2 down. Do you know what I mean? They've no complained about it. So that makes it even more fucking bewildering. You mean?
See, even when he blew the whistle, right, I was like, what is he stopped? I'm not you, I thought it was offside, right? And then I looked at back and it was not offside. I went, so what's he blew it for? And then you look again and thought, surely it's not because of that. And then you look at it again, you zoom in, you take the replays in, you're thinking, right, there's not one incident there that's a foul. See if Jackie Marcus was really pulling him, or there was something there you can maybe go, right, okay, aye, all right, that's a foul. But Jackie Marcus was the one getting pulled first. So if it was going to be a foul, it should be a penalty then. Even though it's never a penalty, but if that's the way they want to do things, Jason, then that's a penalty then. If that's a foul to Hearts, it should be a penalty to us, because he's getting pulled first. He's just used his strength to get away from him, and the ball's better Alston. So I'm like you, mate. I think the referees made an arse of it, and then they've went to VAR to kid on that they're reviewing it because he knew he's blew too early, and he's made an arse of it. That's what I feel, Jason. For the matter, I look at it now, I think he's blew early. He's thought, fuck, I blew too early there. I've got to get a decision. We'll kid on, we'll go to VAR, and then we'll just say aye, or fuck, it's a foul or something. That's I think they've totally fucked up that one. Like, generally, he just knows I think he just knows he's made a mistake, and he's thought, fuck it, we'll kid on, we'll go to VAR. So only thing I can think of, because it's not a foul, there's nothing there that's suspect to even suggest a foul. So for me, I don't want to spend too much on this one because there's more to talk about, but I do think he's just made an arse at Jason, and it's another decision that's a wee bit. It's hard to take because you score that goal, you're 2-0 up, and you're basically in cruise control, because Hearts, before they got their goal, mate, they've only really in their faces. They've only really done much in terms of causing any issues.
They had half chances, but they weren't. I would never say, but I feel that we were saying this before we come on air, that I feel that gave them a jag, and I feel that gave them a jag, and that's why they went up, and then that's that's where they got their thingy from, because that gave them a jag, and they got, and that's what happened. Went up the park, and then that's where they continued to grow for that, in my opinion. So it changed the game.
Oh, it definitely changed 100%. And JP's not really right. No, JP's half shooting tonight. JP's in his catcher. JP's sleeping tonight. But no, I do agree, Jason, that gave him a drag. Obviously, there's a few, mate, we can talk about. It doesn't really matter what order we're going to talk about, mate. But obviously, the 2 penalties, Jason. Obviously,
are penalties, mate.
Aye, there were penalties, right? The first one was for me right away. As soon as I seen it, it was a penalty. I don't know why I don't know how they've took. I think it was 2 to 3 minutes roughly. Don't quote me on how much the time scale was, but it was longer than it should have been. We were watching the TV. Again, we couldn't go to the game because of the allocation was cut again, which again, it's madness. You want to get fans into football and you're cutting allocations, but that's for another podcast. But for me, Jason, I don't know how they've sat in that bit where they're checking it, and he's on the park, they've got to take 2 to 3 minutes or even 4 minutes to check a simple penalty decision. I knew right away. We all
Mate, we all knew it was a penalty.
So why?
We all knew it was a penalty there, but this is the thing that it's opening up, is because it took them 4 minutes, we'll say, to check that penalty, but with a handball, it didn't get checked. We've not even spoken about that one yet, right? But it didn't get checked. So, to me, that is probably going to open up another part in my brain that I don't really want to go down that road, but for the way that I see it, is that he couldn't really be asked giving the penalty. Didn't want to give the penalty, so he wasn't given the penalty. Now, if you're trying to tell me that two referees in Scotland of that height, of that stature, and the two of them are trying to say that they've sit and watched that penalty, and the two of them don't think that's a penalty, they shouldn't be refereeing football matches, mate.
It's bonkers, isn't it? Because for me, it's
nuts.
A clear penalty, and the fact that they've had to take so long to look at that, you can maybe the only thing I can maybe say, because it went that fast, but he's on the park. We watched it for TV, and we can see that's a penalty. I think, but see the fact is, see if there's no VAR, Jason, Hearts are not getting that penalty, and we get away with that one. If there's no VAR, we're not getting it because he waved it away. He's like, no penalty, but then he's went to VAR and went, because see the thing is with VAR, Jason, the referee still has the final decision. So even it doesn't matter what Steve McLean says or whoever it is in the VAR room, if he still thinks it's not a penalty, then it doesn't matter about anything, because he's still got, that's just to help him make his mind up to see from different angles, etc. If the referee still thinks that's not a penalty, then it's not a penalty. It doesn't matter what VAR says. If he thinks that's not a penalty. So for me, it's fucking crazy. They can't see if you're going to have this, right? Like we JP spoke about, right? In previous pod, it's got to be used. It's got to be used properly. It's got to be used in a way where it's not going to take 5 minutes to get decisions like sometimes it does down south. It's got to be used in the right way. And for me, how they can't say that that's just a penalty and just go home in the game. The fact that VAR had to intervene to tell the referee that was a penalty is crazy. I can maybe understand if it was a tight decision, but it was clear as day. Carter Vickers was sent to the ball and he fouled, and that was it. It was clear as day. So, and like you says about the one that we didn't get, the home ball,
that was a more clearer penalty out of the two of them. That handball shouldn't even be gone to VAR.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Do you know what I mean?
Comment for Jotty Boy too, Jason. What's the point in VAR if you still can't use it? Still more penalty all day. No, you're right,
100%.
100%. But the main one for me, Jason, is obviously the penalty we didn't get. For me, how anybody can say that that's not a penalty? That's your opinion. Fair enough, right? But it's a stonewall penalty. See, maybe 20 years ago, Jason, you maybe go, it's not a penalty, right? But see the way the rules are gone now, the way VAR's gone now, and the way the referees are getting decisions for handballs, it's a penalty. You've got to be consistent in the way the football's gone now. It's a penalty now, you know what I mean? So it's even Big Andy's reaction, he's like that, you see it and he's laughing, because he knows that's a penalty, and he knows we've been absolutely shat on. The fact that
because I think he's seen it, what he's up against now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I think he's seen what he's up against now. We've not had a penalty this season.
April the last time it was we got a penalty.
St Johnstone at home last year. That is unbelievable, by the way. Unbelievable how we must be the only team in the league that's not had a penalty. That isn't just a coincidence, in my opinion.
As Anne says, it's one of the penalties we take in training.
He's right, but mate.
And our comment as well for YouTube, for Mario, Facebook, for Mario, mate. Now we all know we need to now we know all we need to know about VAR in Scotland. It will be like this every week for us. Wouldn't surprise me, Mario, to be honest with you, mate. Wouldn't surprise me if we get wee things like this every week. They knew anyway because it's just starting out. But for me, Jason, that I just the fact that that's went to get reviewed, Jason, that's went and got reviewed, and they've said no. Like literally everybody. I think was it Michael Stewart says it wasn't a penalty, right? That's his opinion. But
He said that. Did he not say it was a penalty?
Did
he not say that? Did he not say the handball was a penalty?
Sure, he said it wasn't. Sure, it was.
Michael Stewart said it was a penalty.
Definitely somebody sportsing, mate. Definitely said it wasn't a penalty.
But it was Stevie Thompson and the woman that was on it said it wasn't a penalty, and they were fucking in disbelief when Michael Stewart said it was.
But we all know why they're saying that, because they're somebody from 14. Do you know what I mean?
I actually quite like Michael Stewart. I actually think he's all right. But when he said that, I was like, fucking what?
No, he is. I like him, mate. But I just, for me, I just don't know how. That's a quite a handball. And see, that's what I mean. See, maybe 20 years ago, Jason, you black just play on. But see now football's changing. The referees are getting handballs for just guys hitting at their side. Michael Smith away with his hand away, and he's basically laughing. He's basically like, "Oh shit, I've handballed that."
He knew it was a penalty.
He knows he's handballed that, and it's right to the referee, and he's went to the view, and they've went no handball. For me, Jason, that's not down to VAR. It's VAR in it, aye, but it's down to incompetent.
Ryan, I'm going to say it right now, mate. It's blatant cheating. It's fucking blatant cheating. That's what it is. And I don't care if anybody disagrees with me. It's blatant cheating.
It doesn't look good, does it? Let's be fair.
Mate, I honestly couldn't believe it. Do you know what I mean?
But see, when your manager's even gone like that, like Ange's very.
You've not seen Ange get animated at the sideline, mate.
No.
And he's even no. Here's another point. He can see for the fucking dugout that it's a handball.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick Walsh, who is not even 2 feet away from it, can he see it? And then you've got Stephen McLean, who's fucking zooming in on it, is saying it isn't a penalty. Come on.
I can't understand it, Jason, like you, mate. I just generally can't. I'm like you. I've watched it back a few times. I can't see where they've got it.
Do you know that way, right? You watch it and you try to look at it from another point of view, and you're like, right, has he tried to move his hand away? But he moves his hand towards the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm honestly, right, see if you had to ask him now, I think he'd be like that. It was a penalty.
But this VAR, right? This is what it's to look back and say, right, I don't know, it could have been or it is, whatever. But the fact that some people still think that's not a penalty, for me, is just bonkers, Jason. And then you move on to obviously Hart's second penalty, which again was probably tighter out of two of them, but it probably was a penalty, aye. You have no qualms about it being a penalty. But the fact again, he's had to go and look at it again, and you're thinking, it's a penalty. We all knew it was a penalty. I thought Jens was a wee bit reckless, to be honest with you.
That wasn't his best game yesterday, by the way. He was a bit rash.
I thought again, you're in two minds. Do you not go to tackle and let him go, or do you try and go and you obviously could get away a penalty, which we did, and then obviously Joe Hart saves one of the penalties, and then it comes out, and then he gives that, and you're thinking, fucking hell, man. But again, see if that's an VAR, right? That's not getting gave. So, in a way, right, it's maybe done okay there, because let's be fair, the guys were in the box, technically by the rules, that's right? So, fair enough with that. But it's the fact that it's pure, it's just inconsistent. Like, if there's VAR's no on that, then we're not getting that retake. That retake's it's gone. It's a goal and that's it. But then, even with VAR with the Forest one, you're not getting the gave. So it's just I just can't get it, mate. It's going to be a roller coaster of games every game, mate. Just imagine the Glasgow derbies with us, mate.
Oh, mate, I was just about to say that. Wait till the 2nd of January and this happens, man. Fucking
The next
bedlam.
part at Ibrox, mate, is going to be every decision is going to be. See the thing I don't like about this, Jason, is right. Every decision is going to be go and check VAR, go and check VAR. What? Can we not just can we just not play football? Like, can we just not let the referee decide what? If the referee's wrong, the referee's wrong. If he's right, he's right. Play on. I did say to JP, Jason, right. The only reason I wanted it into Scotland was if it was done properly, done efficiently, and done with referees who probably won in the top league or they won the refereeing our game. It'd be better if it was referees who won in this bubble. Because let's be fair, we all know half of them at least are for a mob. That's no me.
You know, my mate said that.
That's
my mate said that to me today, actually.
But that's no, Jason. That's
getting, I don't know, for talking sakes, getting Dutch officials into there who are totally impartial.
But I know it's money. I don't want to harm, right? I know that, but I'm just talking about to cut any bias out to the two big teams because let's be fair, most people in Scotland support Celtic. I highly doubt a referee is going to be doubting be supporting East Stirling, etc. Right? Most people in Scotland support Celtic Rangers. That's just the way it is. And we all know, again, I don't care if people think you're for conspiracies or you're for this. Probably 7 out of 10 referees are Rangers fans, which is fine. But this is why I like about down south, Jason. When you come out down south, you need to tell your allegiances. I know it's bigger down south, and I know they've got more referees to pick for you. I totally get that. But they need to swear their alliances before the season.
I didn't know that.
Right. Why can I not harm up here? Because we all know why it cannot happen up here. We all know why.
Because we wouldn't get any referees to referee the games, really. Do you know what I mean?
Good comment for the YouTube for Mappy. Hearts played brilliantly against us and we came through it. Even with bad decisions, a great result. You're right,
I think Hearts were 100% up for that yesterday, definitely.
I agree with Mappy. I do agree that we're up for it. Like Mappy says there, the fact that we've come through all that, Jason, even VAR couldn't beat his mate and we came through the game, we still won. And it only really took us not to get the second goal for Hearts to really come and tap it. So I agree with Mappy, it's a fantastic result in the end, considering what happened with the decisions.
Aye. No, I think so as well. Sorry, the wee man's woke up. I think that just shows the mentality in this team that no matter what goes against us, we know we're winning. I said that yesterday when by that result, I was like that. I said no matter what goes against us in that team, in our head we know we're winning that game. It's happened too many. It's happened too many times for it not to be a mentality thing. Because see if that was any other team, they'd have been like, fuck it, we'll take the point. But we were like, no, we'll keep going. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree, mate. And another comment for YouTube, Frank Kennedy. All right, Frank, how's things, mate? Celtic will suffer badly from VAR. Hello, guys. It's the Cold Beans guy again. No, I agree with you, Frank. I think some teams will suffer through it. I think we will obviously get our end there. I think some other teams will suffer. I don't think it will just be us, but I do agree with you, Frank. I do feel that some decisions will go against us, just like it just seems to be that first weekend it happened and a few we didn't get, which doesn't surprise me. But again, Jason, on that topic about referees coming in from other countries, it's not just for us. I mean, for any game, because surely you don't need to be in Scotland to do this. Surely,
no, every other league in Europe's got it. We were the last league in Europe to get it, apparently.
But was it not supposed to be after the World Cup and then they've rushed it in now?
Aye. But I mean, you said earlier on that they're meant to have had all this month's training. Fuck me, man. If I was getting that much training in my job and I was still that bad at it, I wouldn't have a job. Do you know what I mean? And I also thought that it was ex-refs. I didn't know that it was our current refs, which makes it even fucking worse.
That's current refs, mate. I think it's.
I was listening to the Clyde One Phone In podcast. Then I was going to football, got in my game, and so a guy had phoned up, and he was like, "What if they get an extra players, like ex-players, to go in, and maybe judge them on that and help them out with the decisions and all?" And then Mark Wilson was at that, but half of the players don't understand the rules. Well, what fucking chance have the refs got then?
I know. But
I do, mate. Just see with that penalty. I don't care what anybody says. He didn't want to give that because he gave the penalty 5 minutes ago. So he was like that. I can't give another penalty because for whatever fucking reason he was like that. I can't give another penalty. And he didn't want to give it.
That comment as well from Mappy. VAR will make Celtic take their chances and will use it to improve the team. Again, Mappy, you could put that in a positive way, mate. It will mean that we will need to take our chances even more now because decisions could go against us or stuff could happen in the game that could affect us against us or for us with VAR. And Jason Robertson for YouTube, again, Jason, they know that VAR will take all the momentum out of the game, slow down to play to suit other teams because they can't live for speed. I agree with you, James. I do agree that it will stop the tempo and the high intensity because obviously it could be minutes, it could be seconds. We all know it could determine on the decision, but that could obviously be, Jason, as James says. That's quite a good point. What James says there, that it actually could stop us for getting
100%.
So it could be teams might just take doubles, etc. as well because it might go to VAR again. I'm not wanting to say things that might not be right, but I do agree with James there. Do you think it's quite a good point?
No, I think so. Because we're obviously this high tempo, high pressing, quick football. If every decision is taking 3-4 minutes, you lose your momentum. You lose your. If there's a pass on for talking, if there's a pass on and then they call it back for VAR, that pass isn't on anymore. You need to start again. You need to start your cycle again. So I think he's not that's James isn't the first that said that to me. And at first I was like, I don't know, but yesterday the game didn't flow, and it probably did make Celtic a wee bit more clinical. But it will prevent it. I think it will slow us down to a certain degree. Obviously, no every game's going to be like that, right? Not every game's going to be like that yesterday because you're going to get through. You're going to get through a lot of games where there's not going to be many incidents. But I said to you in the group chat on Friday night that something was going to happen in that game yesterday, and I fucking was not disappointed.
You did, mate, to be honest. I think most people were thinking the same. A comment for the Facebook, George Grieve, Dallas gave Rangers 4-1 match. I don't know if that was just a mirror game, was it, George? He's a wee comment if I've got that wrong, but I don't know if it was this year he done that. Baby Dallas, or was it the old Dallas you're talking about, mate? I'm not too sure, but I can remember that recently against St Mirren, I don't know if it was this year or last year, they get 2 or 3 penalties as well.
That was last year. It was Andrew Dallas last year.
Aye, so I don't know if that's what George was talking about.
3 penalties in the one game.
Aye, but again, I'm not wanting to say that it's because it's Rangers or because it's just, for me, it's just an incompetent referee, and it's just referees not been poor. I'm as much as I sometimes really want to get told at the referees, I'm not wanting to sit and say that it's plain cheating.
Right,
but
you seen him, but see that Nick Walsh. See, at the end of that game, it was 85 minutes. It was just, you had that look in his face as if to say, "Get me fucking out of here."
Aye, George, Dallas last year. Aye, no, it was 3 or 4 penalties. Aye, you're right, mate. Aye. Again, it's I'm not want to spend too much money on the topic of VAR, Jason, because obviously that's what talking about the game. James again, mate. Every game had nearly 10 minutes overtime because of VAR.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
It's crazy. Even the Rangers game was 7 minutes, and I think Aberdeen had a bit as well. So, but
it should just be they should just be looking at it going, aye, penalty, aye, booking, red card, we move on. It shouldn't be. What is a three or four of them? Is a three or four of them sitting going like that, or two of them said aye, two of them said no? So we just need to. So you need to make the decision because it can't be like that. It should just be. If it, ultimately, I thought it came down to the referee's actual made the final decision anyway. So the referee might be a stubborn bastard and be like, well, no, that's the decision I've made and that's what I'm sticking with. That's fine.
Aye. But well, according to what I think I know of it, the referee's meant to have the final decision. Doesn't matter what VAR says. If he still thinks it's not a penalty, then he's the man with the whistle. He's the man controlling the game. So, on to your performance, Jason, I thought there was a few very good performances individually. I didn't think we were at our very, very best.
We've played worse, but we've played worse though.
Aye. Oh, we played a lot worse, mate, and won even comfortable. But I didn't think we played that bad. Hearts were up for it. I did actually expect a kick match, but we didn't get a kick match. Hearts actually were quite calm, to be honest with you, compared to some other games. But I thought Aaron Moy played well, Jason. Obviously, when he signed, he got a wee bit of stick because why be signing a free transfer for China? 2019 it was, Jason. There we go. For George says,
I remember it.
I think I did remember it. George. I think I know what you're talking about. So again, that proves as well that to get that amount of penalties in a game, it is quite crazy, to be honest with you. But I thought Aaron Moy played well, Jason. I think when he signed, obviously, there's a lot of eyebrows raised. We were quite complimentary about him on this when he signed. Obviously, you do a bit more research about him. Obviously, we know he played down south. He done really well down south. He does well for Australia when he plays. 9 times out of 10, he plays every week for Australia. Recently, anyway, even when he wasn't fully fit, he was playing. I think we're starting to see the fruits of him now. I do agree with Ange that obviously that he would play a bit more when he's fit again. I think we're seeing that now. Well, no way playing Tuesday because it will be a faster tempo game. I don't know if he'll play on Tuesday, but for me, his passing ability is very, very good. He slows the game down. He does the simple things, Jason. So, considering he's a free transfer, I still say, Jason, it's a bit of a bargain that we've got him. A full internationalist, a very experienced player for a free transfer. For me, there's no complaints about it, Jason. I think he's done very well recently, especially when he's getting a bit more game time now. And he's definitely going to contribute to the rest of the season.
The only complaint is he should take his fucking slippers off before he has a shot again. That's my only complaint. Because that was a fucking sitter, wasn't it? But no, Aaron Moy is just, mate, I think me, you and JP were the very few when we signed him, we were like that. He'll be a good player for us. A lot of people were pure, we're scraping the barrel with that, but he's not. I don't think he's naturally gifted with pace, but he doesn't need it, mate. If you watch him, he doesn't need pace because he's just so good with the ball. He zips the ball very well. He's good at winning 50-50s and all. I thought he's quite hard on the ball with winning tackles. I think he will play him on Tuesday because I think I've got a wee feeling that he might want to try and slow it down a wee bit with Aaron Moy because I think they knows that the boy that scored against us earlier is quick, and I don't think he's got anybody else to play there either because Turnbull isn't fit enough yet, and Ideguchi isn't eligible unless he goes with Haksabanovic into the centre mid role again. I don't know, but I think the last three games Aaron Moy's has been definitely been contender for man of the match for me. And I thought he done really, really well on Saturday again. I just think that he should have fucking put that one in the back of the net. I was jumping about celebrating and then it went wide. I was like, what's he doing, man? But listen, if that's the only complaint to him, then he's doing something right. If that's but nah, I thought he was very, very good. He's just bags of experience and it just shines through him, mate. And then his corner for Yakimakis, he's either or not, by the way. What a ball, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But you're talking about, obviously, just talking about also Jackie Marcus, he had a quiet game, but the reason he had a quiet game is because, for me, the ball wasn't going to him. And I do think that Jackie Marcus is a player that sometimes if the ball's not going to him, he is a bit of a passenger because, for me, if he gets service chasing, he's deadly. I think he's got 19 goals and 20 starts. That's phenomenal by that record, I'm sure.
Every time he starts, he scores.
Don't quote me 100%, but it was on Sky Sports. It was like 19 and 20. It was like 17 out of his last 20 games, but I'm sure 19 have been for start. I think, no, aye. He's 17 out his last. No, what was it? No, it's definitely 19. It's 19. It was like 19 when he started out of 20. So basically, 20 games he started, he scored 19 goals.
That's unbelievable, man.
That's, for me, he's deadly. He's a striker. He's a penalty striker, in my opinion. Aye, he does a dirty work. He does a bit of link-up play. He holds the ball up. He's good in the air. But see if you get a ball into the box, 9 times out of 10, he's there. See, look, we've been...
But see that he did yesterday? That was unbelievable.
What's that? Oh, mate.
He did yesterday was unbelievable, mate. Nobody's saving that.
Nobody is.
You know what I mean? But again, it brings up the debate. Who do you play? I think he's going to be doing this week in, week out thing. I think this is the road he's going down. But for me, the big Greek's the informed striker, mate, isn't he? So he is.
Well, he scored the last. He scored every game the last three games, didn't he?
The last 3 games he started, he scored, and he scored 2. He got 2 against Hibs, 1 against St Johnstone, and then he got 1 against Hearts. So he scored, but 4 in 3 games. Wow, man.
A few comments for YouTube. I thought that, Frank. I knew Michael Stewart said it, wasn't he? And then obviously they says even a few Rangers fans says it was a penalty. So B says Morelos diving. I'm not going to say that one here. But I do agree, Jason, that I like him, mate. I'm a big fan of Jackie Marcus. Obviously, you can't. For me, Kyogo all round is probably a better striker all round in terms of he's full round. But in terms of how deadly he is, Jackie Marcus for me is deadly. I'm not going to compare them, mate, because I'm just happy we've got 2 very, very, very good strikers at our club. Very good strikers, deadly. Their stats tell you that. Even Jackie Marcus, I think he only had 1 or 2 chances in the game of Saturday, and he scores. Even Kyogo on Wednesday missed a few chances, he scores, but they're always going to create chances. But the thing for me with Jackie Marcus, Jason, is if he's playing, you need to utilise him. Like if it's Bernabei or Taylor or Ralph or Janovic or whoever's
play his strengths.
Whoever's out wide, you need to get the balls into the box him. You need to, because if you're not going to do that, you're better off playing Kyogo and letting him on the channels. You've got to get the ball. If you get the ball in the box of Jackie Marcus, he'll either score a goal or he'll cause fucking mayhem. He'll muscle people about. He'll get you a penalty. He'll do things that Kyogo can't.
No, he won't. We don't get them.
We don't get them, aye. But the difference with was he'll run the channels for you. He'll link up and play with the wingers and get the ball. They're different jobs for 2 different players, but the 2 of them do it very, very well. So whoever plays up front, Jason, you're not really caring. Obviously, certain guys suit certain games and certain teams, but again, I think Ange knows maybe against Hearts, Jackie Marcus has a guy to play against Hearts because he's physical. He scored, I think he's 4-4 now against them. So
loves a goal against them.
Definitely for again,
I would expect Kyogo to start on Tuesday.
I think he will play on Tuesday, but for me, you've got to go with the momentum. And for me, Jackie Marcus scored. But again, I'm like you. I think he will play Kyogo because I think he sees him as maybe the better striker, so he'll play him in the Champions League. That's the way I see it. But again, for me, Jason, I really like Jackie Marcus. I really rate him highly. And I still say we've got an absolute bargain for him.
Oh, aye. Yeah, mate, I've, as you know, I'm a big fan of Jackie Marcus. I always think that you should play your informed players. I'm not saying that Kyogo isn't in for him, but I think Giakoumakis has got a wee bit more confidence than him. And I just think that's why he should be number one striker than him. But I just don't think that's the way that Andrew's going to do it. I think he is 1 week in, 1 week out. Because obviously we all thought it was a foregone conclusion that him and Forrest were going to start against Motherwell, and fucking none of them started.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but that's the luxury we've got. Where this time last year we were down to bare bones, if you remember. It was, we couldn't fucking wait for that winter break to come because we didn't have the fit. Do you know what I mean? And I think we were getting the bad injuries last year with the Turnbulls and the Kyogos were getting hamstrings and all of that. We're having this size of this squad, that's not going to happen this year. People are still going to get injuries, aye, but you've got the luxury where you don't. They're no playing 3, 4, 5 games a week. That's why he's bringing them in each week. But in regards to Giakoumakis, mate, how he finished he finished the top goal scorer in that Dutch league, and I don't know how anybody else come in for him. Is it because he can only really do the one thing? Because he's maybe no go. He can only really play in the box. Let's be honest. So is that why maybe put another few clubs off? I don't know. No, that I'm complaining because it's our gain, but I just I think he could get a game. He could get a game down south, not a problem.
See, the thing I like about him as well, Jason, is and Kyogo, it's the work rate as well, mate. The work rate is phenomenal. Marcus is. I can remember the game against Rangers when we won 3-0 last year. No, sorry, it was the one each game, I'm sure. He was chasing back. When he came on, he was chasing back. In every game I see him, mate, he's chasing back. He's helping out. He is. I know we're saying Kyogo's probably the all-round striker, but he's doing that, I know. But again, that's the mentality, the winning mentality of the team. We don't stop. We keep going. We chase every ball down. I've got a few comments as well for YouTube again, mate. B says Moy's a top passer of the ball. I agree with you, B. He's very, very good technically. Again, if people do their research and do watch him, and if we find, we all knew that this wasn't new to us, but it was obviously new to us to see it in face value for how good it really is. And do
you know what I found out? Do you know what I found out about Moy on Saturday? I don't know if you know this, but apparently he was training with him across the water.
I've heard
and he got fit. And apparently they said that they weren't interested in him.
I've heard that, mate, but I don't know if it's true, so I can't.
I don't know if it's true, but I've heard it, and I was like, "That really?" Do you know what I mean? That's just fucking hilarious if it was.
YouTube, mate, Mappy. Heart stopped to our back four playing forward or even passing the ball forward. Bernabei had no chance to do it. It was good at. Ralston Manny's only one cross to the ball and we scored. You're probably right, Mappy. Aye, Bernabei did obviously. I think they stopped Bernabei playing. Bernabei didn't play ridiculously bad, but again, according to you maybe go on social media and some fans were giving him a wee bit of jip. Because he played maybe one under par performance doesn't mean he's a bad player. I think Bernabei's very, very good. I says for day one when he signed.
The boys had one bad game in 4.
I generally believe that because Taylor's doing so well, he's on the left back. If Taylor didn't step up his game because of the competition, I think that's why he stepped up. And he's used to Angie's system where he's more comfortable in playing with Celtic. I still believe Bernabei will be the left back eventually. That's my opinion. But the attributes that Bernabei's got is what I can see what Ange wants. He's very forward. He can defend a bit better now. We've seen he can defend now. He's delivering into the box. He's phenomenal. But again, Taylor scores. He's doing well. So you've got 2 very, very able left backs now. Ralston can come in and play. I don't think Ralston's amazing, but he's a very, very steady second command to Juranovic. If he comes in, you're no bothered because you know he's going to put the effort on. He's going to do everything he can for the team, and he's going to do a very good performance 9 times out of 10. So you've not got any qualms about who. That's what me and JP we spoke about it, Jason. You're not really bothered about who's coming in now. I know I've gave Forrest a wee bit of jip in the past, in my opinion.
He's been good the last 2 3 but right, to be fair to him.
Anybody who listens to the podcast knows that I was the Greg Taylor's biggest fan, but I can only comment on Jason what I see on the park, from my opinion.
100%, mate.
Listen, I've always said I'll change my opinion about somebody if they prove that they're better than what they've shown. Taylor's come into a game, and I've said for day one now, for day one when Taylor's get better, he's playing better now, so he's fair enough. But I still say European games would have been where I seen him stepping up. No Scotland, and he's stepped up a wee bit, mate. He's done really well. Well, not really a wee bit. Asking about the service, he stepped up really well. So I've already said in previous pods, I'm willing to say fair play to you, Greg. You proved not just me, Ryan, you proved a lot of support, Ryan, because some support.
It proved me, Ryan, because I was I wasn't too sure of him.
Ralph's proved us all, Ryan, because I think he's proved himself wrong, because he didn't think he was going to be here, and obviously Ryan's gave him a chance. He's improved, and look at him now. So I just can't. You can't grumble who plays Jason in this squad now. Even in obviously if Stephen Welsh plays, you're like, all right, okay. But to be fair to Welsh, before he's not played, he's done okay. Leipzig have done okay. So he is able in a degree, but obviously you're better with Starfelt or Jens. For me, I still think Starfelt and Vickers are the front two. Jens has come in and done well. No question, he's done well when he's played. But it just shows you, but without Starfelt,
as soon as Starfelt's fit,
because I'm sure. Don't quote me in the start, Jason, but I don't think we've had a clean sheet in the league. The last few games we've conceding goals. But with Starfelt,
when Starfelt and Carter-Vickers play together, we don't. I think it was we didn't lose.
I've no qualms about who plays, Jason. In terms of, I'm trusting the manager, but like I says, for me, Forrest the last 18 months. I think he deserved a bit of flack because he was hopeless. His stats were not good enough. It's simple as that. That's why I thought, why is he a new deal? If you were to sign a free transfer on his stats, you wouldn't sign him. It's similar to the road. If Morelos was a free transfer, would you sign him? No, because his stats are not good enough. So that's the reason why I said it. But he's starting to get. He looks a bit fitter. He looks a bit leaner. He looks sharper. And I hope he continues to do that. That's why I thought he'd have played on Wednesday, because he get a hat-trick. But on to the game on Saturday, I thought Moy was a standout for us. Jack and Marcus obviously getting his goal. For me, the big guy I like to talk about for me is Hatate, Jason. That guy is phenomenal. It's effortless. He's getting the ball, he's twisting, he's turning, he's laying it off. It's effortless. Even when he's running, it looks effortless. It just looks like a gazelle running through the wind. It's phenomenal. The value we're going for is bonkers. For me, he's one of the main guys in the team sheet now, because he does something that some guys haven't got. We're definitely building, when we comment here from the YouTube, Murray Mints, we're building a team full of players that will go out and give 100% in the park and leave it all out there. It's good to see. Yeah, mate, you're right. Definitely. Every player seems to, they've got all the values of the squad, the values of the manager, they get the club, and they get what they're playing for. And I think Jason, what Murray says here is absolutely spot on.
I agree with him 100%, man. It is, and what you're saying about Hatate, I know, mate, is that he's the first name on that team sheet, 100%. He's just, I think, obviously, he came in last year and scored that goal at Tynecastle, come in with a bang, and we were like, this guy's brilliant. And then obviously he dipped because he played that full season. Hatate reminds me of Lubo. Aye. I would agree with that as well. Just see the vision that Hatate's got, mate. It's unbelievable. So it is. Unbelievable. So it is. It's just, you're like, what? He's just... The only thing that he does is he does this back pass thing that I'm not really too happy about. Again, what can you do about it? Do you know what I mean? It's one of those ones. But he's a very, very, very talented footballer, mate. And I love watching him. I think he's class. Even his goal against Motherwell during the week, man. Wow, man. Do you know what I mean? Just to have, I would never think about doing that, but just to have the quickness to go, I'm going to drag that and fuck it by him. Unbelievable, mate. Just unbelievable how good the guy is. He's just, I'm running out of words to describe him.
He's very good, mate. I do believe that he's think he's another guy, mate, that if teams were going to come in and bid from, you'd be asking for top. Very, very good.
Aye.
I rate him very, very highly. I just believe it was a very good performance, Jason, considering what happened in the match. Like you said, 3 each. Some teams are just no went for. But the fact that we just went, and for me, I thought it was a good sub that we brought on, who I really rate as well, is Hastabanovic. He came on the park and he's just direct. He's not giving a fuck about backwards. He's just gone direct. He's want to take guys on all the time. He's just quick, he's nippy, he's sharp. And I believe he's another guy who we got for cheap value as well. I'm a big fan of him, Jason. What I like about him is he's similar to Jota and Abada in terms of he just gets the ball and runs. He just runs. He's just total direction. He's different from Maeda because Maeda obviously does a lot of dirty work, chasing, doesn't take guys on as much. He's always direct. But Hastabanovic, I don't know if it's really gets spoken about, mate, but I thought he did change the game when he came on because he was getting at Hearts, he was not letting him get a minute, and he was actually very good in terms of his pressing as well. So again, he's another guy who I think is going to contribute a lot in this team.
Aye, I think the substitutions he made yesterday were spot on. He brought them on at the right time. But Haksabanovic, mate, he is another one. He's just unbelievable. That guy. He's quick. He's strong. He can pick a pass, and by what I've seen, he likes to have a wee dig at goal as well, mate. Do you know what I mean? But I think another one that come on and obviously for me totally changed the game and was the right decision and the right substitution at the right time was Greg Taylor.
Yeah.
He was just wow. Do you know what I mean? He came on and because the Hearts were getting all their joy down that side, but now when they brought him on, it sort of nullified that. But Haksabanovic, mate, very, very direct, and I'm really looking forward to see how he progresses in a Celtic top, mate, because I think he's very, very good.
Few comments as well for YouTube. Frank, again, Moyes looking fitter. Yeah, mate, he definitely is. I agree with that. I think we can all see that now. He's kind of shown his quality because he is fitter. I know the first 2 or 3 games he looked a bit lacklustre and he was getting a wee bit of jip off some of the fans for not being sharp or getting the ball away, but you can see now his quality. James, again, this team is built to get goals all over the place. You might not get a striker with 30 goals, but plenty with 10 goals. Aye, James, the squad's definitely spread about. Obviously, Abada's scoring goals, Maeda's chipping in with a few, Jota, Jack and Marcus, Kyogo, they're all chipping in. But I do agree that I don't think Ange will ever do it, but see if you just had Jack and Marcus or Kyogo playing every week, I think they would get at least 20 goals a season, at least 20, 25, especially in Scotland. I don't know what you think, Jason, right? I don't think he'll ever do it. I don't think Ange has got it's not on his makeup to do it because of the way he plays. I'd just love to see one game with they two up front, if it was either St Mirren or Rangers, whoever it was, because I think they would get a barrel load, mate. I really would. I think they're brilliant. Imagine they two, it'd be like a big guy, wee guy type thing. Hartson, Larson. I'm not saying Hartson, Larson. I'm just saying, or Hartson, Maloney or something. I'm not saying that they're type of players, but in terms of height and McDonald and Hesselink, the size-wise, playing up to Jackie Marcus, Shadon to Kyogo, just imagine that in a game. But I think the quality, mate, would be brilliant. But again, if you did that, then you're risking injury and you've not got a striker. But it would just be good. See for talking say, just see with our League One team or whatever the Scottish Cup. Up front would be phenomenal. But I don't think you ever do it. But it's just a wee thing I think I put to you before, mate, and JP, that it would.
I would love for him to try it, mate, but he won't do it. He won't do it, but I would love, because I think that the two of them would play really, really well together. I think they would be pretty lethal. But it's, as you say, it's no in his makeup today. It's no in his resume. It's no in, because I think he has got that in the back of his mind. What if the two of them get injured in the same game, then I'm left with nobody, which I can totally understand. But from a fan's point of view, I would love to see it, because I think we would run riot. I think we would possibly get 10 goals in that game, because I just think that they would just. I think the two of them would just run riot, because I think the two of them just read a game that well that they would. the amount of things that Yakimakis would knock down for Kyogo to be there, to be on the end of it, would be frightening. I've spoke to you about it before. I would love to see it, mate, but sadly, I don't think we'll see it any point soon. But I would really really love it, man. It would be amazing.
Another thing as well, mate, that I noticed at the end of the game, Ange going like that. It was basically saying at the end of the game, I know I seen him saying fucking yes. I think he knows against now. I think he knows now in terms of the VAR and the journalists, and I think he knows what it's all about now. And I think that was a big. For me, Jason, maybe excuse my French here, but I think that was get it right, fucking up every single one of these. I think that's what it was. Fuck everybody. It was like, fuck you, everybody, we're Celtic, you most opposite. That's what I'll go for it. It was basically get it right up easy, and I agree with you, because at the end of the game, they tried everything to stoppage on Saturday, mate. The VR and the referee were too good. We got goals. We won it, but that's us not our best, and we're still scoring 4 goals, mate. I think we've got 14 goals in 3 games or something like that. Doing about that. We're scoring goals, and that wins your games, mate. 4 goals. You're going to 9 out of 10. You're going to more than us. But if you're scoring 4 goals, 3 goals every game, you're going to win, mate. Because I'm really. I just don't know. Like I say, I've said it to JP the other night. I said it to you. The only threat, in my opinion, to us is Celtic and VAR now. Because for me, I just can't see any. Obviously, the last board, mate. Obviously, Rangers, they've got points. They're all booing. They're not happy. They're wanting Gio out. They're wanting the wee small man out. He's not getting jam in his sandwich anymore. Roy Mackay's not getting him jam in.
He's not getting anything now. He's not getting a play piece anymore.
He's getting marmalade now. He's not happy, so he's all the crowd are booing him. So, but mate, only be topics, mate. Overall, what's your lasting thoughts?
I just thought yesterday as I think Hartson said, we bet Hearts and bet VAR yesterday. I seen another dynamic again. It just filled me with more confidence with the mentality that's built, that he's managed to build into this team. I think as well, you were saying, see, with us no getting that handball decision with the VAR, that was his team talk sorted for the half time. Because he's been in there and he's been like that. Listen, lads, we're getting fuck all today. So we need to go out, we need to battle them in the second half. And I think over the piece, I think we deserved it. We deserved it over the piece of the game. I think, mate. To be honest with you, Hearts scored 3 goals, but we scored 4. So that's a shame, really, isn't it?
Gio needs a new bag for after the World Cup. But mate, he needs a new Pepper Big on spokes.
He'll not be there after the World Cup.
Jotty Boy 2, we never stop. VAR stop. I agree with Jason as well, mate. I do agree that obviously our performance did obviously take a shine because obviously the VAR, but overall, mate, it's very positive. Again, if anybody likes the content, please subscribe to YouTube and like the video as well, please. It helps us get the content out to the fans. Again, it's all free content. We try our best to get the best opinions out to you, the best guests as we can. A lot can up in the future, so please subscribe and you'll get the first to get obviously the live videos and any videos that we upload. Please get the wee bell and you'll get the notification as well. We're on YouTube, obviously we're on Twitter as well, Instagram, me and Jason, JP. Just search the podcast on obviously all platforms and you'll get us there. But again, Jason, mate, have a good weekend. Hail, hail, and take care, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Hail, hail. See you later on. Cheers.